విశాఖలోని నోవోటల్లో నిర్వహించిన కేంద్రీయ గిరిజన యూనివర్సిటీ ప్రథమ స్నాతకోత్సవానికి రాష్ట్రపతి ద్రౌపది ముర్ము హాజరయ్యారు. మొత్తం 373 మంది డిగ్రీ, పీజీ విద్యార్థులకు పట్టాలు ప్రదానం చేశారు. అత్యుత్తమ ప్రతిమ కనపరిచిన 13 మంది విద్యార్థులకు రాష్ట్రపతి బంగారు పతకాలు బహుకరించారు. గిరిజన వర్సిటీలో విద్యార్థులు ఆత్మవిశ్వాసం పెంపొందించే కేంద్రంగా నిలుస్తోందని ఆమె అన్నారు. విద్యార్థులు భవిష్యత్తు లక్ష్యాలను నిర్దేశించుకోవాలని సూచించారు. ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో గవర్నర్ జస్టిస్ అబ్దుల్ నజీర్, మంత్రులు నారా లోకేష్, అనిత తదితరులు పాల్గొన్నారు.
Every generation inherits a nation. Education determines what kind of nation it leaves behind. That is why universities are not just institutions that award degrees. They create dreams, build confidence, shape leaders, and transform the destiny of generations. Today is not just the first convocation of the Central Tribal University of Andhra Pradesh. It is a celebration of opportunity, celebration of inclusion, and celebration of the belief that quality education must reach every corner of our country and every section of our society. Vikasit Bharat 2047 cannot be built unless every region progresses and every community participates. Universities in tribal regions are not just centers of learning. They are a catalyst for social transformation and equal opportunity. When a first generation learner graduates, an entire family moves forward, and so does the nation. That is the spirit of Vikasit Bharat 2047, where innovation, research, and development empower every citizen while preserving our rich tribal heritage. My dear students, as you receive your degrees today, I request you to look at the person seated before you. There could not have been a more meaningful chief guest for the first convocation of a tribal university than our beloved Rashtrapati Ji. Her own life is the finest answer to the question of why institutions like this university matter. Rashtrapati Ji was born in Upparabeda, a small tribal village in Odisha's Mayurbhanj district. In those days, reaching school itself meant walking long distances. Higher education for tribal girls was rare, yet she became the first woman from her village to complete graduation. That single step changed not only her own future, but the aspiration of countless young girls who came after her. Before entering politics, she chose to become a teacher at the Sri Aurobindo Integral Education Center in Rairangpur. She often says that teaching gave her the greatest satisfaction because it allowed her to shape lives before she ever shaped public policy. That is a reminder that leadership begins with service. Her public life was never built on privilege. She started as a councillor in the Rairangpur Notified Area Council, later became its vice chairperson, an MLA, minister in Odisha, governor of Jharkhand, and finally the president of India. Every milestone was earned. Every milestone was earned step by step through years of public service. But what makes Rashtrapati Ji's journey extraordinary is not only the offices she has held, it is the burdens she has carried. Between 2009 and 14, she lost her elder son, her younger son, her husband, her mother, and her brother. Few among us can imagine such grief. Yet she decided not to surrender to despair. She immersed herself in spirituality, returned to public service with renowned resolve, and transformed personal suffering into compassion for others. When she took oath as the President of India in 2022, she said, "My election is proof that the poor in India can not only dream, but can also fulfill those dreams." Those were not ceremonial words. They reflected a life lived against the odds. Today, when a tribal child looks at Rashtrapati Bhavan, they no longer see a distant institution. They see someone who once studied in a village, worked as a teacher, traveled village roads, faced unbearable personal loss, and yet never lost faith in education, democracy, or service. Dear graduates, what is the true purpose of a university? Today you receive a degree. Tomorrow life will ask you a bigger question. what difference will you make? The true purpose of education is not just to earn a degree. It is to create solutions that improve people's lives. Today we are living in the age of artificial intelligence. AI can give answers, but it can never replace human values, curiosity, compassion, and character. Those qualities are nurtured in great universities and they shape great human beings. That is why universities must produce not just skilled professionals, but responsible citizens, compassionate leaders, and lifelong learners. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has envisioned a Vikasit Bharat where quality education, innovation,